and start showing each other stuff that we'd written already, and then writing new stuff together. And this involved a couple of songs that have never been published or never been heard. Songs like Just Fun. And they were very rough little things, but, it was the start. I did have an old school exercise book, a nice little blue book, a hardback. And in that, I wrote, Just Fun. Just fun. They said that our love was just fun. The day that our friendship begun, there's no blue moon that I can see. There's never been in history, because our love was just fun. And then Too Bad About Sorrows was sort of, too bad about sorrows, wah, 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 ooh, do. Like a sort of little doo-woppy thing. This was the start. And then I'd written in angel voices. That was one of the good things about writing with John. He would often come in from another angle. So if I'm doing a song, it's getting better all the time. John might easily say it couldn't get no worse, which immediately opens the song right up. Okay. And that was one of the things I loved about working with him. He could have said, it's getting better all the time. Yes, indeed it is. Our record guy, he knew somebody connected with the Bond franchise. And so one day we were just chatting and he said, you don't have any interest in doing a Bond film, do you? Yeah. I'd probably be interested, not trying to look too enthusiastic. Yeah, I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So I just spent the afternoon just sitting down and making myself know what the book was about. So then I knew, when I sat down to write the song, I knew what the idea would be. Now, you used to say live and let live, now you say live and let die. I didn't want it to be, so you got a gun, and now you go killing people, so live and let die. I just wanted it to be, let it go. Don't worry about it. When you've got problems and everything, just live and let die. Let it live and just let it go. And so once I had that, it kind of almost wrote itself. When you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say live and let live. You did. But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry, say live and let die. I like that. Well, I like it because I do the other way as well. I wouldn't like to just write to order. But I like saying, as I say, I'm a troubadour, and I've got my little guitar, and I'm in a field, and I'm writing about the stream and the daffodils and the sunshine and whatever's occurring to me. I like that very much, and I think that's mainly what I do. But then occasionally something will come along. Well, someone, would you like to write for a film, Bond film, for instance? And I will be, just kind of, I'm an enthusiast, so it'll just kind of excite me. Oh, could I do that? Oh, yeah, I'll have a go. And I nearly always agree to these things before I've really thought them out, because I'm an enthusiast. I enjoy the process of trying to come up with something that will fit the brief. Some people just say don't like to do that. It can be a very big challenge. I like to think of it like that sometimes. Very much thinking, how is this going to land? Well, we know in a Bond film, he's going to come out and sort of shoot. He's gone at the screen and it's all going to go red and drippy, and there's going to be a beautiful girl in a very scant costume. And so I see where I am. This is the world I'm in. And he'd say, yeah, well, come over. I said, okay. So go over, and then I'd go, when you were young and show him the chords. And then I'd say, and then I've got this da-da-da, da-da-da. And then we talked. And he said it'd be good to go off into Bondian arrangements and stuff. So I left that completely to him. All the sort of, after the riff was played, there's a central middle instrumental bit, which was pure George. When I'm writing a song, I'm kind of following a trail of breadcrumbs. Someone's thrown out these breadcrumbs, and I see the first few. And you just, you go along, and I feel like I'm following the song rather than writing it. I will think of the line that's coming and think of how to get in it, like stepping stones kind of thing, just think, well, I've got to do that to get there. Yeah, I quite enjoy that. It's an interesting process. I like that about writing. It's a puzzle. I often liken it to crossword puzzles. My dad loved crossword puzzles. If you put that together with that, and then you twist that word around, then you get that. Oh, and then the answer is that. I've always known that people, in listening to your song, may take a message away. So that if your song is a good message, love is all you need, then that's a good message to put out, rather than sympathy for the devil. I feel okay about admitting to the fact that, yeah, I wanted to look a bit bookish. I wanted to smoke a pipe on the top deck of a bus. I knew Ginsberg quite well, and he edited some of my poems. One of my favourite songs, because of its structure, is Cheek to Cheek, as sung by Fred Astaire. And I liked it very much because it starts off, heaven, I'm in heaven, fast forward, and then middle eight, will carry me through to heaven. It's like, yes! Just the way it just resolves up its own tail, I always found wonderful. And I think somebody said, I do it in this. It often kind of comes back to where it began, and there's a little glee at arriving there. Like I say, heaven. Wait a minute, we just started with that, and now we're back there. And very cleverly done. And without me suspecting he was going there. So there's just something, there's sort of a writing a song while I was waiting for John one day. I would go out to his house in Weybridge for a writing session, and he wasn't always up. Mm-hmm. So I would often have 20 minutes, half an hour while someone told him I was here, and he would get up. I remember sitting out by his swimming pool in his house in Weybridge, just a sort of golf suburb of London, and having a guitar because I was ready for the writing session. So I sat out and started something, and it was here. And it just sort of went quite nice and smoothly, so that by the time I came to write with John, the time he deigned to get up and have his coffee, I would have something to go. I liked the line, changing my life with a wave of a hand. You know, I look at those kind of lyrics now and sort of think, where did that come from? What was it? Am I thinking of the Queen waving out of a royal carriage? Or, just my love can just do it by hardly doing anything, waving a hand, and oh my God, she's changed my life. It says a lot in a line. Even when you get lyrics like this, the purpose of the lyric is to support the song rather than be a lyric. So it's quite liberating. You can sort of just kind of experiment as you go along, so things slip out like they would in a session with a psychiatrist. I like it when that happens. I like the fact that we think we're on a path off on the moors and we're going for a walk, and then suddenly we've arrived where we started. It's not like as if we've gone around in a circle. It's more magical than that. We've come to another beginning of the path. It's not just like we run in a circle and just come back to the beginning. That's quite boring. But it's just this trick where you suddenly, where you were, but it's surprising. Well, you're where you were, but you're not, because you can see back where you came from, and you're definitely not there. You're at a new place, but it's tricked you, and it's got the same scenery again.